Credit Union. Albert Rose, who is the executive VP and Chief Operating Officer.
There you go.
Pretty good?
That's it.
Okay, good. And Riccardo Francois, who's the VP of Lending.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, our pleasure. So, we have this, situation that's going on. People are going back to work, right? And a lot of people want to drive their own cars instead of relying on other types of transportation, and we get it, all right? So tell us first of all, what University Credit Union is and how you help your members.
Absolutely. So University Credit Union is a democratically owned and controlled banking institution owned by the membership of the credit union. We're approximately 13 to 15,000 members strong right now. We started out as the credit union for the University of Miami employees and faculty. We've branched out from there to include Florida International University employees and faculty, St. Thomas University employees and faculty, as well as those that are involved with the law profession, all the way from West Palm Beach down to Key West, Florida. And we're community chartered, which means if you live, work, or go to school in Miami-Dade County, you are eligible to become a member at University Credit Union.
That's great. And I had the occasion to be at Jackson Memorial Hospital a couple of weeks ago, and I was walking through where the parking garage is, and I was walking down, and all of a sudden I see these bright lights and big windows. I looked over and said, oh my goodness, there it is, all right? It's really magnificent. And the way those glass windows are there, you feel a real freedom when you're looking there. It's not hidden behind anything.
Exactly.
So my hat's off.
And just to piggyback off of what Al was just saying, one of the most pivotal points about the credit union is the fact that this is membership owned. So, just to give it a comparison, private bank is based upon the shareholders and what they have to say in making money. We are membership owned, so we're always have our ear turned to the members and understanding what it is that they want and what it is that they need, whether it be a certain loan product or even one of our service products, whether it's a checking account, what type of checking account, savings account, but more importantly, the loans, when it comes down to a need for refinancing of current vehicles or even a car sale purchase, just as we're about to talk about today.
And lots of folks that I've known Michael Welch for a few years now, to see the advancement in the digital component to University Credit Union is tremendous. So they don't have to go, nobody has to go to the branches anymore. They can do everything online, right? Yes. And they can find you all over the internet, as well as the communitynewspapers.com. You can find some stuff in there. So you mentioned about cars. Transportation is a big issue nowadays. So tell us what University Credit Union is doing this weekend.
So without going into too much detail, let me turn it over to the lead of that event. Riccardo's worked hard, was preparing it for last year. The members have been reaching out, calling us off the hook, getting on the social media saying, when is the next car sale? You promised it last year. We didn't have it. So I'll turn it over to Riccardo at this point.
Thank you, Al. So yeah, the great news is that we're finally here. We're at the point this Friday and Saturday. We're going to be having a 2-day car sale from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Really the background or the backbone to this was making sure that our members started to feel more comfortable when it comes to a purchase such as this. I believe most people would say that the biggest purchase you'll make is a house. Well, I feel as if the second most biggest purchase you'll make is definitely your vehicle. This is going to be a vehicle that you're going to be in, especially with Miami traffic, for a great percentage of the day. So why not feel comfortable in making sure that the purchase was one that you wanted? A lot of times when membership or anyone goes to a dealership, it can be stressful because they're looking into, oh, do I have to haggle on the price? Do I have to do find financing? We here at University Credit Union want to make sure that everything is a one-stop shop. We made sure that we, got in contact with dealerships that we've worked with for years, and we're making it a point that certain fees that you would see at dealerships, they're no longer going to be there. Dealer fees and what have you. And
there certainly is a comfort level in dealing with an organization that versus one that you don't. It's similar to if you're a member of a local business club, dealing with somebody that's a member of the club, of course, is a whole lot more comfortable, and we feel almost protected as a buyer. Everything is going to be okay because I know these people that are there.
And that's definitely a huge part of it. A lot of times, you have to worry about two different things. It's the sale of the financing, and then the other portion being that, did I actually get a good price for the vehicle? And at this car sale, that's not going to be a worry. Once again, we have no haggle pricing. That's going to be on the front of each car, showing the actual, sticker price. What's wonderful as well is that there's going to be no dealer fees at all. And also, this will be vehicles going off of dealer invoice as opposed to MSRP.
And being that you guys are in the money business, the people business, you can be able to chat with them about what type of financing they're looking for, and they deal directly with you.
Exactly.
On that. So, how long has University Credit Union been offering this type of service to its members?
So the service has always been around at the credit union, not just the car sales, like Riccardo was saying earlier. On all loan products across the board, we're not beholding to the shareholders. We're member owners. So what we're looking for is offering the best possible rates to the membership of the credit union. Again, it's not an exclusive club. This is open to everyone that lives, works, or goes to school in Miami-Dade County. Just go online. You can apply for a loan. Well, then if you decide to fund that loan, you'll become a member. You qualify for membership. But the rates on the car sale, going back to your original question, how long have we had this? This is a new program in terms of the longevity, as opposed to 1947 to today. It's a new program. The dealerships being pillars of our community, just like University Credit Union, just like community newspapers is as well. I mean, we get our news from you. They're able to offer us the pricing where they're going to be pricing the vehicle off the dealership invoice pricing. So we're going to start at the bottom for the price of the vehicle, not the MSRP, not at the top. And you have to go to the dealership and negotiate your way down. The dealerships, we're working with the general managers, the principal owners of these dealerships as well. And they decided, yes, this is something good for our community. Let's offer this to the members of University Credit Union. So we're pricing the vehicles on the select vehicles off of invoice pricing. Then the dealer fee, that's usually starting at $8.99 upwards, depending on the dealership, that's not even going to be added on to that price. So you're going to get the price of the vehicle clearly marked on a tag hanging on the vehicle, plus your tax, your tag, and your title. I mean, those are normal fees that you're going to have to pay, but those aren't excise dealer fees that are being added to it.
So we know when somebody goes to a bank, they want to be treated with respect, and they want to make sure that they got they don't have to get a great deal, but they want to feel really comfortable that they got a really good price and a really good product. So before we go on with that, Tommy, could you put up the story that happened to be at communitynewspapers.com, or he's going to put the story up there all about the event. If we can leave it up there for a couple minutes, people can go and they can read that. All right. And that is a great picture. This is where the cars are going to be. That
is the location. That is the West Kendall Center. It's a large location. It sits on the adjacent 2.5 acre lot next to us that belongs to the credit union. So there's plenty of parking for not only the members to come and see the vehicles during the car sale, but for the dealerships to have their vehicles there. We should have upwards on site around 100 vehicles available. That's new and pre-owned vehicles there for the members to come and see.
And to add on that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, please do.
It's not to say that just those 100 vehicles will be there. We do have access to an allotment of inventory. All dealerships that we're working with, they will be, bringing in vehicles. If you feel as if there's a certain vehicle model that you like, but not say the color or what have you, they have no issue in working with us and making sure that car gets there. So though there may be 100 vehicles on site, there'll be well over 3,000 in inventory to actually select.
And you're going to lend money on those cars. And Tommy, if you could put that back up where it shows their ad, tell us about what it's going to cost people to borrow that money for the car on the car.
So for the membership, you know what, Rick, it's your idea. Why don't you go ahead?
Oh, there we go. There it is right there.
So yeah, it's right there. For the membership.
Hold on a second. Michael Welch, we doing okay so far?
So as you were saying, for the membership, we are doing a special, credit union pricing with rates as low as 0.99%. Now, of course, it's dependent on different factors, credit worthiness or what have you. But yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those type of deals you don't want to miss out on. We have, great pricing on the vehicle and great pricing when it comes to the financing. So you add those two together and you find yourself in a great position.
So it was Cy Sims who said many years ago, an educated consumer is our best customer. So people, when they go to car places where they already have a pretty good idea of what they want, and they have a pretty good idea of how much they want to pay based upon the market price. So how do the rates that you're charging for people to borrow money, how does that compare to other options in town?
Rick, you're the lending guy, so go ahead.
Well, I will say this: we make sure that we do our research. It's not to say this is just a number that's sticked upon the board. Regardless, when it comes to Federal Reserve rates and other characteristics, whether it be reviewing the rates around our community, we make sure that we're always competitive. And it's not to say that this is a rate that's just labeled. We make sure that we do our research, and this is one of the most competitive rates you'll see out in the community. So
if somebody has a question concerning the cars, the manufacturer, the brands are going to be there, they can call you.
Oh, most
right?
definitely.
You can go online to University Credit Union, send in the questions to do that.
Yes, sir.
So that is, I don't remember the last time I even saw something like this. It's sort of exciting where you could go and you have everything all in one. All right. Are they going to be able to have some drinks out there? Not liquor drinks, bottled water and things.
We're gonna practice CDC guidelines. We'll have sanitation stations located throughout the area. We'll have bottled water, secured bottled water for those that are thirsty. The best part about it is we're centrally located out in the West Kendall area. So there's restaurants and cafeterias all around our location. So if someone wants to go out and get a quick sandwich.
Well, I do want to remind everybody there is glass between us. So you can see over there. And I've had both my shots, by the way. And when you get yours, you're going to feel different. It took a couple of weeks before you start feeling this freedom. So let's talk about transportation, how people have been getting around, in the last 6 months. And where do you think private transportation and public transportation is going to be in 6 months from now, as more and more people go back to work?
Well, honestly, what we've come to realize is that a lot of people are not only just worrying about how they're getting to work, but how they're getting to work. It's a new day and age, and a lot of people want to have certain assurances as to what their experience will be when it comes to getting to work and coming back. So public transportation, for lack of a better term, is being a little bit more diminished when it comes to the prime choice to get to work or get to any location. Having said that, of course, your main way of getting to work is going to be vehicles. So though people may believe that there's not been though people may believe that there's been a dip when it comes to the purchase of vehicles, it's actually it's definitely the other way around. We've seen, I believe, within the past year, $660 billion worth of auto purchases.
It's an interesting that's happened in the last year. We know that pet sales are way up, dogs, cats, food. All right, our friends at Animal Control tell us they barely have any dogs and cats for adoption because people wanted to be closer. We know that people have moved their money around. People maybe that have been doing some traveling and cruises, things like that. They said, gee, let's go do something else. So people stayed at home. We know Home Depot, Lowe's, home improvement stuff. So the sales are skyrocketing. Of course. We know that homes are selling really very fast, very, very, very fast, and for a lot of money. All right. So there's lots of money going around. People's habits are changing, some forever, some for a while. And I agree with you that the transportation issue is a big deal.
Of course.
Right. And for months, maybe longer, I said, I'm not going to be in the same car with you. Right. That's just it. All right. And so they would take their own cars, and we would meet wherever it was, and then we'd go back. So the demand for new cars and used cars is way up as compared to before. So what models of vehicles will you have available to you?
We're going to have quite a few. Of course, we'll have the standard Honda vehicles, Toyota. We'll have Lexus, Chevrolet. Any vehicle you can pretty much think of, we'll have it there. We'll also, and it's great that you mentioned, not only will we have new vehicles, but we also have pre-owned vehicles. Just to give some backstory to that, a lot of members have been savvy, financially savvy, and they make sure that they're trying to get their best deal. As of right now, just to put it out there, the average on a brand new vehicle is well over $40,000. Now, the average on a used vehicle, pre-owned, is somewhere around the $28,000 range. So that just goes to show us a $12,000 difference. There's certain people who would rather go the used pre-owned vehicle route. So it's not to say that we're not cognizant of this. We made sure that this car sale will not only have those brand new cars, but they will have the pre-owns.
Now, Riccardo may not remember this, but I'm sure that you and I remember. Back not too many years ago, the first house I bought was $28,000.
Oh, wow.
Right? And a condo at Kings Creek wasn't much more. I think it was 40-ish, right, for a place to live. So now new cars are 28 and 40. We just drive trucks, and so I don't even look at it anymore because of the price.
I thought you were going to go back to when cars ran on hay and they were called horses, but thanks for not going back that far.
So let's talk about, if we could, the financial arena. All right, about what's going on in the community and how people are getting along and the outlook specifically for us here in Dade County. You guys are money people. You understand that. Looking to the future. Tell us about that.
So the demand that we've seen follows the national statistics, where Miami's not an island unto itself, though we feel we are pretty much most of the time. What we're seeing, if we talk about the housing market real quick, we see that nationwide that the housing market has about 22% positive equity in their homes, which is great. This is a far difference than the Great Recession we experienced back in 2010. So that's a great indicator of potential delinquencies and foreclosures in the housing market. So we're looking really good there. So the fear and the concern of this looming bubble, well, it's not like it was back then with the ability to repay mandate that was put in after the Great Recession. We know that the individuals that are being put into the homes can afford to make these payments. So it's not the same. It's not the same event. So we're not really so concerned about that as we were then. Today, in the revolving debt market, we've seen the individuals become very responsible, and with the stimulus checks that went out, it helped a lot of households. So we're seeing the credit cards revolving debt lower, and we're seeing individuals going out to get new credit cards decrease as well. So that market looks very good. It's very, very, very stabilized. Individuals took a record last year. We saw a record amount of refinances, taking advantage of the equity in their homes. But again, they're not going 100, 110% of equity because the markets didn't drop, the prices didn't drop. So we're in a really good place. And the auto industry, that's really taken off. So the big concern was inventory. We hear it from the premier dealerships that'll be at the car sale, is our inventory is down. And for this whole time, I thought, it's a logistics issue because of the issues of last year. And they're saying it's not just a logistics issue. We have the parts, we have the manufacturing. No one's taking the transit anymore. They're in their own vehicles. The 1 or 2 car household is now a 3-car, 4-car household. Everyone has a vehicle in the house that can drive. They don't want them sharing rides, as you mentioned, with other people. And we don't see this trend going around. Once you take someone out of a subway, a metro rail here, or the bus, being on that for an hour, standing up, or they're realizing, I'd rather just sit in my car, listen to the radio I want to listen to, and be free from any other distractions that there might be.
It's frequently, if I have to go downtown, and I say to myself, okay, I could go and stand, I could go to the station and wait 10 to 20 minutes, right? Get on there, then walk down, right? And you say, okay, well, do I want to do that? Because that for me was about 45 minutes. I think, you know what? If I just take my car, right, I'll be able to listen to whatever it is on the way. I won't have to be near anybody else. Not that I'm antisocial. It didn't before that. It was like that trip was close enough to where I chose the car. Only occasionally just for let's try it again and see how it feels. And inevitably, when you wind up standing up there and waiting on the platform, that time could have been better spent, doing something else. So here we are. The economy seems to be pretty strong. We continue to hear the interest rates are going to remain low for a while. And I remember last year, the year before, somebody said there's going to be a recession. There's going to be a recession. Well, there was for a short period of time, if you will. All right. But it seems all the key elements seem to be there. And we suspect by September, when all the kiddies are back in school, all right, that the traffic is going to return to where it was. And so I hope that the politicians that didn't do what they were supposed to do last time. Spend some money on the roads, figure out a way to move vehicles, because we're going to need better transportation issues, all right, on how to handle that increased traffic that is clearly going to be there for two things. One, everybody going back to school and to work, and people wanting to be in their separate vehicles, right? So let's talk about West Kendall. What does it look like out there now as far as the business and the continued growth in that area?
It looks like any growing city that we have in Miami. You have everything out there. We're situated near the executive airport out there. So just to take a look out there, it's like Teterboro. You go out there and one after another, private jets all day long. And not just, the old days, it used to be just a training airport, but now it's a hustle and bustle.
Is the new extension, if you will, that goes from the Turnpike, I guess,
820, yeah,
to the airport, is that road? I saw part of it. Is that open yet?
It looks like it'll be open within the next 6 months.
And that's really going to help move people around and allow that place to open up. I was out there not too long ago on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was like somebody was giving away stuff, right? And that airport area is really phenomenal. And, the old days, it was the Tamiami Airport, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had the director of Miami International Airport. He came down and we chatted for a while. And he talked about the airports and Homestead Aviation, Opa-locka, Greater Miami Executive, and Miami International, and how much business is really centered around that, right? And so lots of people are now paying attention to the old Tamiami Airport, and it's really great to see West Kendall, building. And our friends at Baptist West, 162nd-ish Avenue, and Kendall, they saw the light 15 years ago, more or less. They purchased that land maybe early before that, and I see it becoming very self-contained, and that's again going to mean lots of business for everybody. And what I hope that happens out there, there'll be jobs, right? And because people have to move from out west to come east, it's a problem. So I hope that in the coming months, you guys have job openings for people, right?
Well, we see it right next door to us. We have a facility being built on the 20-acre site adjacent to us. It's under construction right now. That'll house 200 full-time employees there. A new company to the South Florida market that will be opening up there, and it's right next door to us, and we're very excited about that. We've already had discussions with them, and as you're talking about what's happening out in West Kendall, so the car sale itself, we're going to have the dealerships that are within 2 minutes to 3 minutes driving distance from our location. That's what's going to make it so easy for the members to get the car that they want. If it's not there on the lot, they're going to, in 2 minutes, they're going to drive it.
You? Are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there. Rick's
we'll be there both days. That's most definitely.
So they could come and see you, all right?
Exactly.
And you're going to virtually hold their hand and say, here we are, all right?
It's, what's amazing that we didn't touch on before is the other service we're offering to the membership at this car sale is the ability to bring your vehicle in and have your vehicle appraised. We're going to have a buyer there that's separate from those dealerships. It's a licensed dealer in Miami, but they're going to be buying the vehicles. The reason we separate that is, as Rick said earlier, you go to the dealership, you get this great price for the trade-in of your car, and then you think on the other side they're going to raise the price of that, or you can't negotiate both. We've separated that. We have a buyer on one side that's going to value the car and offer you cash for that vehicle. If you want to sell it to that individual, he'll buy it. You can conclude your transaction at that point and call it a day. If not, and what most of the members are going to do, they're going to come in, they're going to take that valuation, they're going to find the vehicle on the other side of the lot that's deeply discounted, special pricing, no dealer fee, and then you're going to apply that value on your trade-in. You're going to put it on that vehicle. It's going to reduce the price more, and that helps offset the tax you need to pay for the bottom line of your vehicle.
And you bring up an interesting point, because so many of us, what am I going to do with the old house before I get the new one? And people are, and sometimes that stops the sale from taking place. Do you sell this one over here before you buy that? You have both going on at the same time. So it's comforting to know if you have a car and you're looking for a new one, they go out to University Credit Union, talk with the representatives from the dealerships, talk with you about borrowing the money, and you can take them virtually to the other side of the lot, say, here's your car, and we're interested in selling it. and they can make you an offer there.
Most definitely. And something I just wanted to add is that, though the car sale is going to be this Friday and Saturday, this is definitely your opportunity now to put in your request. The sooner the better. We want to make sure that this is a seamless process for all of our members. We understand that, their time is very important. So if they want to, they can go into ucu.org, ucu-miami.org and put an application in now.
Okay. So again, so people could go to, forget the initials there for a second, University Credit Union, Miami. If you want to read a little bit more about it, they could go to communitynewspapers.com, put in University Credit Union. We want to thank you for the coffee mugs. We appreciate that. And there are some young people out there, 18 to 25, that are thinking about maybe going into the banking, credit union business, or just in life when they're wondering what to do. All right. So we're going to start with you, Albert. Which camera should we look into?
The middle.
The middle camera right over there. And why don't you talk to them for a minute or so? And then you're next.
Wonderful.
Banking industry, finance industry, it's a great industry to get involved with for your future. It's the pillar of our society. It makes the world go round. If you have any questions or concerns in regards to anything regarding that, please feel free to give us a call. We're always available to talk with our community members.
Riccardo, go for it.
Well, all I'll say is something that always was told to me while going to school and everything is to always be a sponge. When it comes to business, it's very important that you take heed from information from all different aspects. It's not ever a issue when it comes to doing even more research on your end and coming back with more savvy questions. So what I can say when it comes to business is always ask questions, always do your research, and it's never a problem when it comes to maybe even not to say second guessing, but requesting an elaboration when it comes to an answer that you're given.
And we have a young man that's working here, and he kept asking me a lot of questions, and he could see I was annoyed. He says, does this annoy you? I said, yes, but you know what? It's okay. Because what we hope that happens is that you learn from it and you won't have to ask me as many questions. So it's fine, all right? So I think that's part about being upfront with this, is to say to somebody, it's okay to ask. Right? Mm-hmm. And to have that boundary where you say, please don't ask me now because I know it's going to take 5 minutes to answer, but come back a little bit later. We appreciate you guys being role models to all of us here in Miami-Dade County. And again, our guests today, Albert Rose and Riccardo Francois from University Credit Union. Folks, have a great day, and thank you for joining us. And Tommy, thank you for the show. Again, thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you. And again, real quick, I invite everyone in our community to come out to our West Kendall Center location this Friday, March 19th and Saturday, March 20th to come and look at the premier auto sell event that we're going to have. Even if you're not ready to buy, it's a great time to come out and see what your vehicle's worth for trade-in and to see what the prices are and what the new vehicle models are shown.
Okay.
Come on by. We'll be waiting.